Coming up on 6:30 this morning, Idaho is moving into phase 3 of their reopening plan.
It's just sad to me that we can't function like we used to.
We spoke with one Washington restaurant about how the change will affect their business.
We've received mixed messages when it comes to crossing state lines to get your coronavirus vaccine. Next, we break down what you need to know.
And as the sun gets ready to come up early on this morning, we've got some breaks in the clouds. That's helping us really cool down across the inland Northwest.
Up with KREM begins now.
Well, welcome back to Up with KREM, 6:30 now. This morning, the Washington National Guard is ready to administer COVID-19 vaccines yet again at the Spokane Arena. Guard members are stationed at all 4 mass vaccination sites, and so far members helped administer 10,000 vaccines.
And this morning we will keep you up to date with everything you need to know about vaccines throughout Washington and Idaho. But before that, we're going to check in with meteorologist Jeremy Legoo in the Weather Center. Jeremy, you've been working on your dance moves since that blue video we played earlier this morning, right?
Yeah, that girl has got some killer moves. You know, unfortunately, you guys can't see my legs, but they are dancing. Have you ever seen the Irish dance, the Lord of the Dance? That's what's going on underneath this little table right here.
Perfectly square up top. That's it.
Yeah. See? You can't even tell I'm dancing right now, but boy, are these legs moving. Let's get you out the door. Let's get your legs moving early on this morning. Temperatures are cold enough that you're going to want those legs to start moving. 29 degrees early on today. And notice the sun or the light on the horizon. Yeah, we don't have really any cloud cover. The sun is still about 40 minutes away from rising, but boy, does it look like it's coming up. Turns out we don't have Wenatchee or Moses Lake anymore. All right, there's a little bit of scattered snow shower activity there. Temps in the upper 20s elsewhere, and we do have some clear skies overhead here. Down to the south, that's where we're looking at some of those showers kind of moving their way into the Palouse. We'll keep an eye on those. Those look to stay farther south as we move through the day. I could see some of those in Idaho Panhandle a little later on, but for us, it's a mix of clouds and sun taking us through the day. Tomorrow looks to be a little more active in terms of weather. So for today, just know that it's a bit of a break. Temps go from near 30 this morning to near 40 this afternoon. And enjoy that sun. You get a mix of it with a few clouds dotting the sky.
We'll see you back here in a few minutes for that full forecast, Jeremy. It is 6:32 now this morning. We have the latest team coverage on vaccine information that you need to know. Tim Pham will join us in just a few minutes to explain the rules for people that cross state lines to get a vaccine.
And this morning, Dana Marie McNichol is covering the latest information here in Washington. Hi, Dana Marie.
Hi, good morning, Jen. Well, Chase Health says it successfully received its new shipment of the Moderna vaccine. They now have an additional 4,000 doses. Now, Chase Health has told us supply determines on how many people can get the sign up for the vaccine. We are still waiting to hear what this means for the next round of vaccine appointments. Right now, all appointments at the Spokane Arena are full through Sunday. The earliest available appointments will be for Tuesday, as they are not administering vaccines Monday. Over 4,000 vaccines have already been administered at the site. Governor Jay Inslee shared this promising information on Twitter last night. You can see the tweet behind me. It's saying that we've passed 700,000 total vaccine doses administered in Washington. Now, the governor says while this is an incredible achievement, they are still working to rapidly expand the state's distribution program. So we saw another tweet coming from Governor Inslee saying that the efforts are starting to really pay off. We've administered 70% of our current vaccine allocation, and we've been steadily rising in the rankings compared to other states across the country. He did also note that we should be proud of the hard work, but there's a long road ahead.
Well, this morning we're also looking across state lines as Governor Brad Little has announced that the state will be moving into phase 3 of their reopening plan.
So the biggest change will be seen in gathering sizes. Gatherings up to 50 people are now allowed.
Now, large events like trade shows, weddings, and sporting events might be able to have more than 50 people in attendance as well.
It just depends on whether organizers follow the Idaho State Board of Education's COVID-19 safety guidelines.
Now, Idaho has struggled to keep up with demand for the vaccine, especially as the state on Monday expanded eligibility to Idahoans over the age of 65. The state is currently receiving only about 25,000 doses of the vaccine per week, which means it'll take several months to get people over the age of 65 vaccinated.
Idaho is one of just 2 states to vaccinate less than 6% of its population. As of yesterday, about 103,000 people received at least 1 dose, and just under 23,000 received both doses.
Now, restaurants in Idaho can have up to 50 people in an indoor setting in phase 3.
Meanwhile, Washington restaurants must operate with open-air dining, and owners must keep capacity at 25%.
And with Idaho being right next door to us, they've opened. And of course, like I said before, people would rather go sit down and enjoy themselves than to get to-go food or takeaway food.
Now, here in Washington's East region, the earliest date that eastern counties can be considered to move into phase 2 is next Friday, February 12th. All right, let's check in with Tim for the latest coverage we've got on those vaccines. Tim.
All right, Joshua, thanks so much. Yeah, we've received a lot of mixed messages when it comes to Idahoans coming to Washington to receive the vaccine and vice versa. So let's break down what's actually happened over the last several weeks. We broke it down into a timeline for you. So the Washington Department of Health said that on January 13th, that vaccinations don't require proof of residency. They noted if people who work in Washington, they would get their vaccine in Washington even if they lived in another state. Now, the next day, the Washington DOH clarified that people who get the vaccines in both states need to be sure they get the same type of vaccine, since states don't always share records. Other than that, they say there was no issue getting 2 doses at different facilities. Now, on that same day, we received this voicemail from the Idaho Department of Health and Welfare.
I do have the answer to your question here. Basically, people do not have to prove residency to receive a vaccine, so one could get the 2 doses in different states as long as they're the same vaccine.
Then the mass vaccination site opened up in Spokane on January 27th. KREM reporters spoke to a man from Idaho who said he got the vaccine at the arena. That same night, the Washington DOH released a statement reporting and repeating that people must live or work in Washington to get the vaccine here. Now, Chaz Health says they're relying on an honor system and no proof of residency. We're still waiting on a reply from the Washington DOH to see if this also applies to providers like Providence or MultiCare. Now, we first showed you these adorable prairie dogs on Tuesday. After the break, we're talking to the family that owns them and asking them about their predictions that actually contradict Punxsutawney Phil.
Oh, love those guys. Huge fan. I don't even have to talk about weather. We're gonna give it to the pros coming up.